It is estimated that about 20 million USD per year is caused by invasive baboons in the US state of Iowa. To control invasive baboons, what measures are the most effective for Iowa farmers to deal with? Let's watch the following video and hope Iowans will find effective solutions to protect their lives and property. Before finding out why baboons invaded Iowa's urban areas, you need to know where they originated from. Some baboons were released and escaped from animal conservation areas and zoos in Japan. They migrated to Iowa in the 1970s and have since flourished because they are intelligent animals and well adapted to their environment. The feature that attracts millions of invasive baboons is the many abandoned buildings and green areas that provide shelter for them. It is estimated that there are currently about 1,500 baboons living in Iowa. The area with the highest number in Iowa is Davenport. They are not only the fear of the people here as they continuously flood the city, causing traffic congestion. In addition, as the invasion of baboons increases, it causes power outages and damages the power supply system. That's right, you heard right. Due to their flexible climbing habits, they often walk on electric wires quickly. It is normal for their weight to cause damage. But it also affects the safety of farmers in this area when power lines are partially damaged, directly affecting people's safety. This reminds you to pay attention to safety. When they flock into the city, it causes traffic jams for hours. In 2020, a horrific traffic accident seriously injured an Iowa man after his truck collided with a herd of baboons. This incident caused great attention in the community as people became concerned about the dangerous appearance of this animal on the highway. And yet, in 2021, a herd of baboons suddenly appeared on a highway in Iowa, blocking traffic for more than an hour. This scene has left people shocked and wondering why this animal appears so much in an area like Iowa. These events have pushed Iowa farmers to face new challenges. They search for ways to protect their property from baboon intrusion. Local researchers have also worked together to find effective measures to prevent the spread of this animal and protect community safety. Don't take your eyes off the screen. Next, I will take you on a hunt to deal with the invasive baboon by hunters who want to drive these animals out of the city. Comment number 1 if you are looking forward to the following exciting hunts. I think you need to know this. To deal with invasive baboons, you would think of using the hunting method, right? But before going hunting, you will have to wait for a hunting license from the local government. A temporary solution to the invasive baboon problem in Iowa. With the increasing number of invasive baboons causing damage to the city and threatening the safety of residents, some Iowans have resorted to using pesticides. Food for them. This is a fairly common method and can help reduce harm from invading animals, creating a safer environment for people in urban areas. They mix sedatives or birth control pills into fruits like oranges and bananas, place medicated food in places frequented by baboons. When baboons eat food laced with drugs, they will be affected by the drug and lose their ability to reproduce or fall asleep. However, to achieve the best results, people need to use safe drugs without overdosing and strictly follow the instructions for use. In the baboon repelling device market, GPCT1567 waterproof, ultrasonic solar harmful baboon repeller with flashing LED light and motion sensor stands out with outstanding features. This device is designed to help Iowans effectively prevent baboons from entering their living areas. With a smart operating mechanism, this machine uses solar energy to charge the battery and emits ultrasound waves that are not harmful, but effective in repelling baboons away from protected areas. In particular, the machine is designed to be waterproof, allowing it to operate reliably under all weather conditions. The motion sensor activates the machine when it detects the presence of baboons, stimulating LED lights to flash and emit ultrasonic waves, creating an unsuitable area for them and causing them to leave this place. The advantage of this machine lies in using solar energy, which helps reduce electricity costs and does not affect the environment. At the same time, its portability allows users to easily move and position it in many places without having to worry about power supply for the machine. I like that this way of dealing with Iowans does not affect the environment and does not hurt the baboon. If you support using this method, please comment number 1 to show your action. The above 2 measures I have just proposed will be effective in the short term, and they are measures that demonstrate the humanity of Iowans towards invasive animals. However, if this measure goes on for a long time, it will not be able to control the number of baboons. They have used drum traps, which are commonly used to hunt invasive baboons. This type of trap works on the principle of stimulating curiosity when they greedily eat the food in the trap. The trap resembles a cylindrical metal barrel with a trap door latched with metal material. When the baboon runs into the trap to get the bait, the latch falls and the baboon is trapped inside. Traps are often placed in areas where many baboons live, near their food sources such as fruit gardens or residential areas. The snare drum can operate effectively 24/7. However, people often set traps in the early morning or late afternoon when they go out to look for food. The bait used for the trap is usually fruit, the baboon's favorite food such as bananas and sweet potatoes. Drum traps are an effective way to hunt and control their numbers. Each year, traps can be used to capture hundreds of invasive baboons. Drum traps are among the most commonly used and effective traps to deal with invasive species. According to the United States Department of Agriculture (USDA), over the past 5 years, the drum trap program has sharply reduced more than 7,000 baboons in Iowa. This quantity proves that this method is the most effective in controlling baboon species. If you support this method, please comment on number 2. Baboon hunting with drum traps requires a license from the competent authority. The purpose of licensing is to ensure that hunting activities are carried out in a legal, controlled, and safe manner for people and animals. Some people do not agree with the practice of hunting baboons with empty traps because they believe this action is cruel. They believe that baboons are also wild animals, need to be protected, and should not be taken down. When trapped in a trap, the baboon will panic and be mentally damaged. Drum traps can be painful to people if they do not know how to use them. In addition, it may affect other animals. What do you think about the measures taken by Iowans? Please leave your thoughts below in the comments section for everyone to share with you. Comment 0 if you disagree about baboons' invasive actions causing harm to residential areas. Comment 1 if you support countermeasures by setting up traps. Thank you for watching the entire video. Click the channel subscription button and turn on notifications to watch new countermeasures from countries.
Wild pigs in the United States are not only an invasive species, but also a major source of damage to the agriculture, livestock, and the natural environment. The consequences they bring can reduce agricultural productivity, pose a risk of disease transmission to the livestock, and affect the entire ecosystem. In crop farms, wild boars become annoying rivals of farmers because of their toxic gnawing behavior. They destroy crops, eat seeds, tubers, and fruits, causing heavy damage to agricultural production. This not only reduces farmers' income, but also affects the food supply. Furthermore, wild boars also cause soil erosion, damage irrigation systems, causing soil erosion and reduce soil quality. This greatly affects the stability of the agricultural environment, reducing the ability of soil to regenerate for crops. This animal has omnivorous habits and can consume many different types of food, from plants such as plant seeds, other tubers, fruits, to small animals such as insects and mice. Wild boars use their snouts and feet to dig in the ground, search for food, and sometimes scrape the ground to create a shelter. On livestock farms, wild boars attack the livestock, eating their food and drinking water. This is not only affecting the health and condition of pets, but also increases the risk of infection with dangerous infectious diseases. Wild boars are active mainly at night. When it's dark and few people are active, this increases the likelihood of encountering them, especially in rural areas and primary forests. The greatest threat not only comes from the attack and corrosion that wild boars carry, but also from their ability to be a source of disease transmission. The wild boars can carry many dangerous infectious diseases such as African swine fever, swine tuberculosis, swine fever, and foot and mouth disease. These diseases not only threaten the health of pets, but can also spread to humans, endangering the entire community. Hunting feral hogs by planes in the United States is an effective strategy for controlling and preventing invasive species. Implemented since the 1980s, this method has become increasingly popular and widely used in recent years. The cost of hunting by plane is not small, ranging from $1,500 to $5,000 per flight. However, this cost includes not only the rental of the plane, but also the cost of hiring hunters, the cost of ammunition, and many other costs. Hunting by planes offers many important advantages. First of all, this method is highly effective, capable of destroying a large number of wild boars in a short time. This helps minimizing their impact on the environment and also protects farmers from damage caused by invasive species. In particular, the use of aircraft in hunting also ensures safety for people and pets. By flying at a high altitude, the aircraft avoids wild boar attacks, reduces the risk of accidents, and at the same time increases the accuracy in placing bullets. When conducting aerial hunting in the United States, obtaining a license is important to ensure safety and regulatory compliance. These licenses include wild boars hunting licenses, pilot licenses, and hunting equipment licenses. A wild boar hunting license is one of the most important steps to ensure that hunting takes place according to regulations. This requires a solid understanding of hunting rules, as well as the ability to identify wild boars and manage the hunting environment. A pilot license is a necessary condition to ensure that the operator has the ability to control the aircraft safely and accurately. This is important to avoid unwanted accidents during hunting and ensures the safety of both the pilot and those participating in the activity. A hunting license is another essential factor, especially when using firearms from an aircraft. This ensures that the operator has the skills to use hunting equipment correctly and safely, while complying with relevant legal regulations. Crop fields and orchards are often the primary foraging areas for feral pigs, making them easy to access and control. Airplanes make this more convenient, increasing the ability to locate and hunt them. Jungle areas, where wild boars often hide as well, are also a prime target for aerial hunting. The aircraft's flexibility in locating and accessing hard-to-reach areas helps improve the effectiveness of hunting activities. Thanks to the control measures, including aerial hunting, the wild boar population in the United States has decreased significantly by 2023. The population is estimated to have decreased from 5 million in 2000 to about 2.5 million. Despite significant achievements, wild boars continue to threaten the environment and pose a risk to people. Maintaining and developing control measures is important to ensure a balance between the survival of this animal and the protection of her habitat. Therefore, controlling and preventing wild boars invasion remains an issue that requires continuous attention and action. How do you feel about this measure? Please let us know all your opinions and thoughts down below in the comment section of this video. And for now, allow me to invite you to continue watching the rest of the video. Let's continue watching together. Wild pigs were brought to Florida in the 1500s by Spanish settlers. They have escaped from farms and naturalized in the wild. They reproduce and cause wild boar populations to increase rapidly. The forests were invaded and destroyed by them at a rapid pace. Swamp puddlers are created during wild boar foraging. Some areas have serious water pollution. To date, Florida has about 2.5 million animals, accounting for about 40% of the total wild boar populations in the United States. Florida state authorities have taken a number of measures to control the invasive wild boar population. Florida farmers and hunters have accessed the forests with blinds to create safe and favorable locations to observe and hunt feral hogs. Choosing such locations not only ensures effectiveness in hunting, but also requires quietness and avoidance of noise so as not to ruin the opportunity to hunt wild boar. When wild boars appears, hunters quickly use hunting tools to take the advantage of the opportunity. The wild boar hunting process can only be carried out in a team model, in which support and interaction between team members plays an important role. Teammates not only provide safety, but also supports each other in optimizing hunting strategies, ensuring that every operation takes place effectively and safely. From approach to harvest, bringing success and harvesting more wild boars. Green iguanas are omnivorous reptiles. They eat fruits, vegetables, small animals, and insects. They are able to reproduce quickly. A female can lay from 20 to 60 eggs per year. As a result, the number of green iguanas in Florida has increased rapidly, causing negative effects on the state's natural ecosystem. An estimated 5 million green iguanas lives in Florida, accounting for about 90% of the total iguana population in the United States. The control of green iguana populations has become a great challenge, but the use of measures, such as hunting, has proven to be an effective option, since they often hide in tall trees. Approaching them at a close range becomes difficult. However, in areas such as around lakes or where there is water, they often gather to live, creating favorable conditions for hunting. This simplifies the process of finding and capturing them, with the ability to catch one animal at a time. In particular, green iguanas in Florida are often larger than those found in the shore areas, which further increases the effectiveness of the hunting method. Their ability to float on water is also an advantage, making it easier to track and approach them. These measures have contributed significantly to the reduction of green iguana populations in Florida, providing positive results in habitat control and protection. In the 1930s, monkeys were brought to Florida as pets. Many monkeys have escaped from their owners and naturalized in the wild. the monkey population in Florida has grown to about 4,000, accounting for about 50% of the total number of monkeys in the United States. Additionally, shifting monkey populations to protected areas and flooded forests not only helps protecting farmers from their negative impacts, but also contributes to maintaining ecological balance and in protecting the biological diversity. In this way, efforts to reduce conflicts between humans and apes not only benefits both sides, but also contributes to the protection of the natural environment. This is a great example of how we can find humane and sustainable solutions to live in harmony with other species on our planet. About 20% of pythons are invasive in the Florida region in the United States, creating a unique challenge for local farming communities and residents. This is a carnivore, dangerous not only to the natural environment, but also a formidable partner of farms and residential areas. They often reside mainly in flooded forests, especially in South Florida. Their presence increases the risk to the safety and sustainability of these areas. With its large body, dealing with pythons requires professional skills and caution. Florida farmers have developed special methods to effectively catch python. They move gently to areas with pythons, using just enough strength to catch them and hold them tightly. Holding the python's head is important to avoid the risk of being bitten, and requires creativity and specialized technique. The python catchers must have strong health to face challenges of the python's size and strength. Every day, they can catch 3 to 5 pythons, which is a job that requires a lot of patience and discipline. Although the job of catching pythons seems simple, but behind it are great efforts of the community to minimize the negative impact of pythons on the environment and the daily lives of residents. To better understand the python invasion situation in the United States, let's continue watching this video. Native to the lower Mississippi River Valley in the United States and many other aquatic systems in northeastern Mexico, red-eared sliders have been introduced throughout the world and now occupy parts of all foreign continents, except Antarctica. Many are released as unwanted pets after the colorful turtles outgrow their homes, are released as part of traditional religious traditions. Red-eared sliders have long been blamed by conservationists as one of the reasons for the decline of native turtles when they are introduced outside their native range. Claims in the scientific literature that RES are responsible for negative impacts of native turtles are sometimes exaggerated or lack solid evidence from experimental research under natural conditions. The rapid proliferation of red-eared sliders worldwide earned the species a place on the global database's list of the 100 worst invasive species in 2000. Red-eared sliders have been introduced to Europe, breed in warmer Mediterranean climates as well as in more temperature climates, and their presence is thought to have a negative impact on the European pond turtle. Ames orbicularis, but bioevidence is speculative or based on small-scale experiments in artificial conditions that may not reflect interactions in complex natural environments. Wetlands altered and degraded by human activity are the turtle rather than the exception globally, providing new habitats that can challenge native species, including turtles. Disentangling the adverse effects of invasive species dominance from other causes of species decline is difficult because of the co-founding and interacting effects of human impacts on aquatic systems. As omnivores and habitat generalists, red-eared sliders appears to be well adapted to benefit from these changes and often dominate the deregulated urban environments where they are introduced. Each red-eared turtle can lay 50 to 100 eggs per year. They are able to survive in harsh habitats. Red-eared sliders can withstand low temperatures, dirty water, and lack of food. Under the Endangered Species Act (ECA), recognized as dangerous invasive species, this implies that the sale, possession, and release of red-eared sliders into the wild are federally prohibited. Under the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, regulations have been established to prevent the spread of red-eared sliders. Additionally, various states and the United States have enacted their own measures to address the problem of invasive red-eared sliders. Many people have enforced laws prohibiting keeping red-eared turtles as pets. These regulations are intended to minimize the impact of this invasive species on local ecosystems and protect native wildlife. It is important that individuals are aware of and comply with these regulations to prevent the unintended spread of red-eared slider turtles. This includes not keeping them as pets and reporting any sightings of these turtles in their natural habitat to the relevant authorities. Injecting birth control drugs for red-eared turtles is a non-invasive birth control method used to prevent the laying of eggs in this species of turtle. The procedure involves injecting a drug called progestin into the female red-eared turtle's body. Progestin or progestine is a female sex hormone that has the ability to inhibit ovulation and reproduction. Using nets to capture invasive red-eared turtles is a popular solution for controlling this species population. This method is often deployed using large nets to capture red-eared turtles when they operate in coastal areas. This activity takes place from April to October, the period when red-eared turtles actively reproduce and lay eggs. Water between 68 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal for the growth of red-eared sliders. During this time, they often appear near the water's edge to search for food and establish nests to lay eggs. Net rackets are typically constructed from nylon mesh, measuring about 6.6 feet in length and about 9.8 feet in width. The nets are then dropped into the water and moved along the banks of rivers, lakes, and ponds to capture red-eared turtles. Every day, this method can catch from 50 to 100 red-eared turtles. However, the number depends on many factors, such as the size of the area to be controlled, the density of red-eared turtles, and the weather conditions. According to research using nets to catch invasive red-eared turtles, it can reduce the species by about 20 to 30% each year. And for now, let's continue watching the rest of the video to also see how the US farmers deal with invasive catfish populations. Historically, the duck made its debut on European shores in the 16th century, only to later traverse oceans and find a new home in South America during the 18th century. Subsequently, a significant number of these ducks, once confined to farms, stage a daring escape into the wild, creating a feral population that thrived in the untamed expanses of the country. Adding to the complicity, some Muscovy ducks were deliberately released into the wild, whether for the pursuit of hunting or as a supplemental food for other. What makes the Muscovy duck particularly formidable is its remarkable adaptability. Not constrained by environmental boundaries, these ducks have infiltrated urban landscapes, furthering their range and influence. Compounding the challenge is their prolific reproductive capacity. These female Muscovy ducks, with astounding efficiency, lay clutches of 10 to 15 eggs with the ability to produce 2 to 3 clutches per year. As true omnivores, Muscovy ducks traverse the culinary spectrum, feasting on a diverse array of plants and animals. From aquatic vegetation to small insects, tadpoles, and even flitting birds, their diet knows little bounds. Firstly, the Muscovy duck engages in fierce competition with native species such as whistling ducks, mallards, and teal for crucial resources like food and nesting territory. This rivalry disrupts the established equilibrium of the ecosystem. Secondly, their insatiable appetite wreaks havoc on aquatic vegetation, endangering even the rarest of plant species. This poses a direct threat to the delicate balance of aquatic ecosystems. Muscovy duck net traps plays an important role in controlling invasive musk duck populations, especially in South America. This is an effective and low-cost measure implemented simply but with high efficiency. First of all, determining when and where to place traps is crucial to achieving optimal success. The time to set traps is either in the early morning or in the late afternoon, when musk ducks are often most active. Trapping areas should be in areas where they feed a lot, such as ponds, lakes, swamps, and rivers. This ensures high effectiveness when traps are placed when they frequently appear. When performing the trap setting process, some things you need to pay attention to are ensuring that the trap is placed in a discrete location. Out of the sight of ducks, the trap net should be flat, not wrinkled or torn, and the baits such as rice, corn, or bran
should be used to attract them into the trap. The number of ducks caught each time depends on the size of the trap and the number of ducks in the area, but usually it catches around 10 to 20 Muscovy ducks. Although the Muscovy duck net trapping method brings many advantages, such as high efficiency, low cost, and ease of implementation, it also comes with disadvantages. Injuries to ducks and not being able to catch all musk ducks are a thing to watch out for. The Muscovy duck hunting has become an effective control measure in reducing invasive musk duck populations, especially in areas with high duck densities and few human population. This not only helps protect the environment, but also meets the growing needs of South America's farming and hunting communities. The musk ducks are usually active in the early morning or late afternoon, as this creates the best opportunity for hunters to catch. Observation is an important part of the hunting process. Hunters will spend about 30 to 60 minutes observing before dawn, tracking the ducks' movements as they begin to appear. When the musk duck shows up, the hunting action begins. Hunters use guns to shoot ducks, and because they often fly in flocks, many ducks can be captured in one shot. If the duck falls into a far location or underwater, the hunter will take advantage of the support from hunting dogs. These hunting dogs are specially trained, as they will swim out in the water to harvest the ducks and bring them back to the shore. After the hunting process ends, hunters and farmers will harvest them in the fields and bring them back for processing. This hunting method has yielded positive results for controlling musk ducks populations in South America. According to estimates, every year, South American farmers and hunters successfully hunts around 2 to 3 million musk ducks, minimizing pressure from their invasion. The benefits of hunting Muscovy ducks in flooded forests are manifold. First, it minimizes competition between musk ducks and native animals, especially in competition for food and habitat. This helps protecting native animals from decline caused by the imposition of these invasive ducks. Second, this measure helps minimizing the negative impact of musk ducks on the ecosystem. Musk ducks, being omnivores, have the ability to reduce aquatic plant populations, harm aquatic animal habitats, and cause damage to agricultural production.
So since these solutions have been effective in preventing the growth of colonies of some invasive species, do you believe in any other better solution? If so, please don't forget to share your comments and opinions down below. Plus, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to support our channel with our upcoming videos. And lastly, don't forget to share this video with all your friends so that they can watch it and enjoy it as well.